20,000 out of 30,000 euro I made in revenue last month for my coaching program came from using this exact Instagram story strategy. And if you're someone who's just posting random Instagram stories about your life or client wins, you are missing out on so much money. You don't have to be glued to your phone and posting absolutely non-stop. This literally just takes 30 minutes every single week and allows you to sign clients who are literally pre-sold and who are a joy to work with. Everything I do kind of contradicts the standard business advice you're going to get. A lot of experts out there will tell you have to pump money into ads and spend so much money to scale past 10k a month. Or they insist you need to be posting everywhere 2-3 times a day if you actually want to get the traction you need to make good money. My approach is one daily reel plus some intentional Instagram stories throughout the week. Doesn't burn you out, and when it's done right, it can allow you to scale so fast and sign dream clients every single day. So in this video, I'm going to break down my entire Instagram story strategy. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to dive into why story content is so good for signing clients. I'm going to talk you through the 4 categories of stories that took me past 250,000 in my coaching business. You'll learn my proven sequence structure that turns viewers into paying customers, and we'll tie it all together so you can generate consistent inbound interest from people ready to invest serious money in what you're offering. So let's dive into the main reasons why Instagram stories are so good for making sales. Here is a fact about Instagram, and you probably see this time and time again. There's so much coaches that just show their lives as a highlight reel. They show their wins, they show the physique they're in, they show their mindset being absolutely bulletproof and them being so consistent, but they're so scared to be a little bit vulnerable and to actually showcase the hard work and the grind it takes to get the dream result. And this creates a massive opening for us. When everyone else is trying to show up perfect, like they have the absolute dream life, showing up a little bit more authentic and as your real self makes you unique and makes you stand out. Now, I'm not saying come on your stories bawl and crying if you're having a bad day. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But when you can speak about and talk about the shit parts of life, because everyone goes through periods of time where life's not perfect. If you can talk about them from the lens and perspective of this thing happened to me, but here's what I'm going to do to get myself out of it and get myself back into the routine I was in. If you can talk about it from that journey POV, you're giving advice, you're showcasing your knowledge, but you're also being able to be real, being able to be open and being able to be authentic. And that's going to build such a deeper, meaningful connection with your audience than someone who's just trying to show up perfectly all the time and are scared to show the down. So the 3 main goals with Instagram stories is to make people like us more and build a connection with them, make them trust us more and showcase the value knowledge we have and showcase that we can actually get results. And then obviously posting call to actions designed to actually get people to message us and get people to come into our inbox. And using the techniques I'm about to teach you, I receive hundreds, like there was one story I posted maybe 2 weeks ago and I received 150 messages off the back of the story simply by curating and crafting my stories using this story sequence and these strategies. So the 4 categories we're going to dive into is first of all personal connection content, secondly journey content, thirdly trust content, and then fourthly call to action content. I'm going to give you examples of each one as well, so you can just copy and paste some of these and just like put your own information in, put your own personal spin on them as well. So there's going to be so much value in this video. So the first category is connection content, and the purpose of this is to build a deep, meaningful bond with our audience. And we want to show our values and our morals, our hobbies and our interests, and also our personality within this as well. Because ultimately people buy from people. There's so many businesses out there, there's so many coaches out there, but why someone is going to gravitate to you instead of to any other coaches out there? Your uniqueness is in your personality. It's in what you value. It's in what you do in your spare time, and it's in showcasing the type of coach you are through your personality. Like, are you more monotone and calm? Are you more like energetic and high vibrational? Like, showing that on your stories is going to allow our audience to actually see the parts of us that they want to see in order to actually invest in themselves and invest in us. So if you're just focused on giving maximum value within stories, you're again losing out on so much money. That will not differentiate you from all the other coaches that are out there. Your uniqueness and your personality is the only true differentiator. Let me show you some examples of the kind of stuff I post. So first of all, the 2 is the story sequence. I went from 2019, how I was feeling, where I was in life, to 2025, where I'm at now. And by showcasing again this transformation, this journey, people who can see parts of themselves in my before and that want to be where I am now, they're going to resonate with this on such a deep level. They're going to get so much inspiration, so much motivation from seeing me being able to do it for myself, that they're going to, again, if they want to invest, they're going to see me as the best possible fit to help them because I've been through it firsthand myself. But also I'm just building that deeper connection by being vulnerable about my past and where I was at. Second one is just talking about my Friday, kind of like what I do. Again, conditioning, I'm into the gym, healthy lunch, onboarding a client, and then just chilling. And the last one is talking about where I was in 2022 versus where I'm at now, and just like kind of going across the message of never settle for less. That's my mindset. So it shows how I think, and it also shows that I make my dreams a reality. So these are some examples of some connection content that you can post for yourself as well. Just think about, like, again, back to this. What are your hobbies? What are your interests? How can you show your personality and how can you show up as you? And how can you show your values and show like what you stand for as well in this type of content? Sometimes as well, I'll talk about my family. If I'm on the phone to my dad or on FaceTime to my family, I'll showcase that because it shows I'm like a family oriented person, which I am. And again, it's going to resonate with other people who prioritize their family and who put their family first as well. So if you have a good relationship with your family, you can showcase that. If you spend a lot of time with your friends and you care about your friends a lot and maybe you show up for your friends, like you go to your friends like football games or something like that, post about that because it shows the type of person you are and it shows what you value. And again, that is going to be a differentiating factor of why someone might invest with you instead of any other coaches out there. So that's the first type of story. Secondly, we have journey content. And the purpose of journey content is to show the reality of getting to the dream results that your audience wants. So share your own wins in relation to your niche. Show the journey, like if you're cutting, if you're bulking, if you're a PT, if you're, again, working on your mindset, if you're journaling, like show these things as well to your audience to show that you're embodied in what you're coaching people and also showcase that you can do it for yourself as well. And don't just think, again, that you have to share wins all the time. You can also share challenges and how you're approaching challenges. That's another really good way to showcase the journey of getting towards the dream results because these are going to be the same challenges that likely a lot of your ideal clients are going to be facing. And if you show how you're approaching these challenges and how you're overcoming these challenges, again, someone's going to see you as the best possible fit to be able to help them overcome those challenges too. And when you're transparent and you document transparently, your audience is going to be completely, entirely invested in your story and invested in you. They're going to be like rooting for your success as well. If you can show up where you're at and you can show your progress moving towards your next goal as well, they're going to be egging you on to win. And that's how you build a real sense of community. Even if you're having a bad month and you're slacking off a little bit, like talk about that and talk about what you're going to do to get back on track no matter what niche you're in. So for example, I'll talk about my revenue sometimes. I'll talk about, so this particular story is saying 3 years ago I had to borrow money off my parents for my flight home. Fast forward to now, I collected 22k in cash this month, but that's not compared to this, and I go on to my client results. So showcasing if you go to the gym, if you have a banging session, if you have a really good solid morning routine, like whatever it may be, show your wins and talk about your wins online. And again, that's going to be able to show your audience that you're doing it for yourself and be able for them to see you as the best fit to help them too. Then the third crucial type of content we're going to be posting is proof stories. So this is client results and just like hyping up your program in general. And the purpose of this is to demonstrate that you can actually obviously deliver someone a result and you can get someone a transformation. And the more results you have and the more evidence that you can collect that you can do what you say you do, these are going to be one of your most valuable assets when it comes to marketing. And when you're consistently always posting wins in your stories every couple of days, your audience is just going to keep seeing wins, and just be so sure and so trusting that you can obviously get someone a result. They will inevitably start to think that this person like must possess knowledge that's going to help me as well if they're helping all these people too. Like imagine someone following you for 2-3 months and every 2-3 days they're seeing win, another client win. Like obviously they're going to be so convinced that you can get people results as well. So if you think you're posting your wins a lot, you're probably just not even posting them enough. You can never post too many wins because if you're priming someone's brain like that to see win after win on your stories, eventually they're going to want to join in too and they're going to want to be a part of it. So for an example, I am posting proof that my program's really good. I'm showing a story of a guest speaker I brought in to give extra value to my community. I'm showing my group calls. I'm showing what my clients are saying about my group calls, how much they're learning, all of this stuff that like almost gives this FOMO effect of how good my program actually is and what people are saying about my program. That again primes people's brain to just want to be a part of it and want to join it. And the last type of story that we need to post is call to action stories. So the best way to do a call to action is to give free value, start a conversation from that free value, and then nurture that person in the DMs to then book a call with you. So there's 2 types of call to action stories. There's direct call to actions and indirect call to actions. Direct call to actions is where you're literally talking about your program and you're giving someone an option to basically DM you a keyword if they want more info on how they join your program. So it's like directly talking about your program and directly messaging you to join in on your program. Whereas an indirect call to action is just giving value first, starting a conversation from like a poll, from a sticker tap, from some other alternative way, and then starting a conversation, nurturing them with DMs, and then eventually getting them on a sales call. So I would do one of each a week, one direct every single week and one indirect every single week. And again, this is an example of each. The first one is indirect. I've done so much research on viral videos and I've combined a list of 100 super viral hooks you can use for free. Just comment viral, I'll send them over, and that will start loads of conversations. Then I can chat to people to see if I can help them. The second one is the direct one. I just talk about a client result. I got my client her first 6k a month. I'm taking on X more people, help them, dream result. DM me ready for more info on how I can help you. So that's like a direct call to action to my program. Whereas the first one's more indirect. I'm giving value. I'm starting a conversation, nurturing the person in the DMs, and then eventually booking a call with them to potentially talk to them about my program. So that's the 4 types of stories that you need to be including in your story sequences every single week. So 3 pillars for maximum impact with Instagram stories. The first one is speak to one specific person, because if you're trying to compel to everyone and you're trying to speak to everyone, like, no one's going to find you really magnetic, or no one's going to be super attracted to you. Whereas if you can just strip back the noise and literally just think of one exact persona and one exact type of client that you want to attract, and you can speak to them, you're going to be able to go into so much more depth on like exactly where they're struggling. Like, say for example, if you're a fitness coach, like, it's going to be so different if you're talking to a busy professional who has to go into work versus a stay-at-home mom. And if you're trying to talk to both those people, you're going to end up really speaking to no one. Whereas if you can just focus on one of those 2 types of people, you're going to compel to that person so much more, because you're going to be able to talk in more depth about exactly where they're struggling and exactly where their pain lies. So choose one in detail specific person to speak to in your stories. The second thing, and this is honestly a game changer when it comes to stories, pre-handle objections with your Instagram stories. So say if you're getting on a lot of sales calls and you're getting the same objections come up time and time again, like, I need to think about it, it's too expensive, I don't know if it's worth it, any of these things, they're all things that you can talk about on your stories and you can pre-handle. So say for an example, if someone says, oh, I need to think about it, I don't know if now's the right time, you can come on your stories and you can maybe talk about an investment you made, and oh, I was going to think about it, but then I realized if nothing changes, nothing changes, so I just went for it. And by like telling that story and showing that kind of like angle on it, people who see that, who are like likely to say I need to think about it, will see what you've done for yourself and see that you're saying that if someone says they need to think about it, usually it means they're not going to sign up. Then in their brain, they're going to start thinking like, okay, maybe I don't need to think about it, maybe I just need to take action. So with every objection you get, you can pre-handle that on your stories, talk about that on your stories, and then people are going to be so much more bought in, because they're probably not going to have that objection because they've seen you nearly pre-handle and deal with that on your story. And the last thing is just being real and vulnerable. As I was saying, your uniqueness is what's going to make someone invest in you amongst every and any other coaches out there. So by showing up and being real, being vulnerable, showing your true self, you're putting yourself in the category of one. And again, people are going to be so much more likely to build a connection with you and want to invest in you and actually trust you as well. And then my system for creating stories, so it literally just takes me 30 minutes. So at the start of the week, whether it's Sunday evening or Monday morning, I'll jump into my notes app and I'll just script out a load of these things: reality checks, my monthly updates, client case studies, my controversial perspectives, limiting belief breakdowns that my clients could have, so that's pre-handling objections, daily documentation, and like any work in progress updates I have. I'll just jot down a load of ideas and then I'll just build them out using those 4 pillars that I gave you at the start. So every single week, what I would do is 2 call to actions, 1 piece of journey content, 1 piece of, again, showing your personality or value content, all the rest client testimonials. That's kind of how I would break it down. So even if you just jump in your notes and you just pre-plan your stories for the week as well, it's a little bit more strategic. You're not just jumping on and posting about what you're doing every single day. There's actually a little bit of strategy behind it, and every post is intentional, and it's going to move someone closer to being a follower, to actually then wanting to be your client and wanting to join your program. So I hope you got so much value from this. If you did, please like, subscribe, and if you want to book in a call with me personally to go through your strategy and go through the type of content that you need to post in order to be successful and scale your business past 15k a month, just DM me the word ready on Instagram or click the link in the description to book a free one-to-one call with me. See you next week for another one.